What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You're now watching Kinetic Outcome, and we are with Mr. Riz, Vice Principal of Pong Secondary School. So, Mr. Riz.
Yep.
A little bit of introduction of yourself.
Well, I think I don't need any introduction, right?
Well, from growing up, where you were born,
okay,
where you study.
Thank you, Hector. So, actually, I was born in Hong Kong. Like you, I went to the same primary school. And like you, I went to the same secondary school. And I was his secondary school teacher. And we had a lot of, I think the first time we met was when I was doing the primary visit in 2003 or 2004.
Yeah.
Possibly, I think he saw me, and that's why he chose Dahlia Hebrew for his secondary school. And now he is a successful person. Oh, sorry, the video is about me. Go back to the question. Okay, please. Yes.
Yeah, and to get deeper into that. So next question is, how did you get to where you are today?
Well, I think it's all, I don't want to sound like cliche, but it's all about hard work and also having a dream that you want to aspire for something. So I remember when I was a teenager, I didn't really have any goals. Like, I see there's a glass ceiling and then you cannot succeed and you get stuck somewhere. But as I move on along the way, I had an opportunity to get into the teaching field, and from there I developed my interest, and I can see I can contribute in this field. So I carried from there, and opportunities came, treasure it, and work double than the regular individuals. And with the blessing of my parents, support from friends, and motivation given by my students like you and the person behind the camera as well. So yeah, I would say it's like this. So in a nutshell, it's hard work, seize opportunities, and don't give up.
Okay. We'll get a little deeper later on the support part.
Okay.
But for the next question, what was rewarding in the process, and at the same time, what were the challenges on your way to where you are today?
Well, I think challenges are bound to exist. Okay, whatever you do, otherwise it's not life. Okay, when I embark on things, like for example, there are a lot of exams, a lot of tests you need to take for your qualification, and those don't come easy. And then you have to deal with students' problems, students' learning problems. All these things requires a lot of time, effort, and creativity. So as you move along, and with the passion of serving the community, serving the students, I think the smile you get from the students, the recognition you get from the parents, and also seeing your students successful, I think these are reward. Apart from all those, like monetary reward and stuff, in the beginning you might enjoy it, but then actually you'll find yourself very empty. So once you have the passion of doing something, so keep that passion and momentum, things will naturally come to you. They will be looking for you. The reward will be looking for you. You don't have to be worried that you will not be rewarded.
That's a great answer. He said students smiling, right? Yeah. Next question is it's a little deeper. You don't have to go too deep, but my question is, what do you think Hong Kong's improvement in terms of its approach to the education system throughout the years, since you've been in the industry for quite a while now?
Well, of course, I see a lot of improvement, and more improvement can be made. Since Hong Kong has been returned to the mainland China for already 24 years, the non-Chinese speaking students area has been under the attention of the Education Bureau. They're putting more resources with the help of learning Chinese language, their career pathway, and some other learning issues. The attention and the resources has increased over the years. And of course, now we have to wait and see the result, the outcome materialized by the schools, and seeing results of our students as well. So this will take time, but I think we need to see more critical mass, like more successful cases, not only one or two. Then I think things would do well along the way. And I'm sure, like recently, the Chief Secretary of the administration, he wrote a letter to the Muslim community in Hong Kong, congratulating them for their Eid festival. And you can see a lot of these different gestures the government is doing is actually uniting and connecting the community together. So we as ethnic minorities, even though we don't like the term EM, we need to actually embrace and try to integrate into the community and find a niche or find a gap where we can contribute. And let's not be reactive. Let's take the opportunity, get ourselves into the community and see where the scope is. At the same time, those people who are doing well, they should see how to help the other EM friends to integrate in the community, and then they'll consider Hong Kong as their home. So that's how I would look at the current situation and the current dynamics.
Okay. I just want to share a little something in terms of my experience.
Glad to hear.
Ever since the handover, I guess we were in the old system.
Yeah.
So growing up, I learned Cantonese every year. But I really feel I didn't have much interest because we were always separated.
Yeah.
So I really feel that if we were together and we can play together or we have
Yes.
activities together,
Yeah.
separate classes is fine because English and Cantonese.
Yeah,
right?
the medium of instruction.
But if there's
yeah.
a way to make us just play together. Like,
more
we're kids at one point, right?
More interaction, more opportunities. So what you are saying is the hidden curriculum in the schools. Yes, like in our school here, actually many of our ethnic minorities students, they speak the Chinese language quite well. But at the same time, the English of our students is also good. So there is a platform for them to interact, and we create opportunities for them to understand each other's culture, so that this will benefit our local students as well as our ethnic minority students.
Yeah, because a lot of the local students as well at that time, they
will run
had
away.
no interest to speak English as well.
And they will run away.
Because I'm a living proof. Like,
Yeah.
I worked in my industry. I'm in finance. I'm the only Filipino in the office right now.
So you need to, if you need insurance, go to him.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I've been there for 2 years. And all I did was I tried my best to speak just because I'm around them. And now I can speak 60 to 70%.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to practice reading again, but of
Yeah.
course I need to dive in deeper.
Yeah.
It's gonna take time, but it's a lot better. I can speak. So I really feel
No.
we gotta mix in the crowd.
This is exactly what I've gone through this 10 years earlier than you. So like my documents and things comes in Chinese in my office. So I need to see, I need to deal with it. But I would use a growth mindset to look at it. I will not run away from it. And this actually would help. Yeah, so again, I mean, those who are viewing the video, if you have, I mean, you yourself or your children or even your friends, if you live in a particular place, don't run away from learning the language. We have to. Okay, once you understand the language, you will understand the culture, and then you will understand how the people think. Yeah.
Okay. And for the next question, since you did get to where you are now, you are one of the few, to be honest, in my opinion. What makes you unique in your approach?
God is very kind to me. I see myself no different than you or than other people. It's just that when I have the opportunity, I will seize it, work hard, and see how I can give back to the community. That's my approach. And whenever I do things, I try to have empathy, not sympathy. Then you know what people are thinking, and you can provide things better.
Okay. And to the next question, throughout your whole life, could be anybody, who do you look up to most?
Well, I think the first thing is my parents. I think without their sacrifice and hard work, I wouldn't be here. Second, mentors that come along my way, who have groomed me and nurtured me and make me capable of where I am. So having a good mentor or a good sifu in Chinese, it's very important. You learn all the soft skills, the experience of life, which actually will help save 5-10 years of your time in not going into an orbit of a vicious cycle. So these sort of things I think is important. And of course, the other thing is I'm very reflective, receptive. I know my weaknesses. I don't need another person to tell me, and continue to improve the weaknesses. And if you're good in something, you don't have to show off. People will know it. And yeah, so I think I do it in that approach. And because sometimes, and I'm also a very straightforward person as well, sometimes when I will not put things in my heart. If things not okay, you can recall when I was teaching you guys, I mean, if it's not okay, I'll just say it. Yeah, so that's my personal philosophy.
Which is better? I really don't like people who pretend, just personally.
Yeah.
Like, just be upfront. To connect to that, I'm curious about the mentor part. Did you attract it as well? Or you found the mentor?
Well, along the way, I mean, like when you're working, there's some people who are very nice to you and they give you advice, and gradually you become their mentee. And then they will talk to you more and stuff like that. It's not really like you have to enter into a marriage contract where, oh, I'm your mentor, you're my mentee. No, it's not like this. It can be very organic, very organic. And then someone give you a comment, respect people who has been in the field for a long time. That has been my approach. And then I will also listen to the young people in the field as well. They might have some innovative or creative ideas. Because, well, come on, I was young 17 years ago in the field. But what I have is already 17 years. There might be some new ideas emerging. So I have to look at it differently.
Okay. And next question is, along the way, this is when we go back. You mentioned earlier about support, right? You had more support, or it was a balance of support and there's always naysayers, right? So how was your experience in that process?
You mean about support and?
Non-support.
Of?
People, in terms of you pursuing what you want.
Well, I mean, of course, when you work in a place or anything, you tend to have more people who might not be supporting you, or you might not know what their intention is. So my mindset and thinking was very simple. I honestly, I really don't care what people think about me, because if I'm reflective and I'm receptive, I know my strengths and my weaknesses. I don't need someone to judge me. I know what is right, what is wrong, and what's the purpose of all my schooling, education, experience, and all these things when I have to entertain 10, 20 people. That's one thing. But then when I work in a place, there are colleagues you need to look after and stuff. Sometimes they might not understand you or understand your good intention, but they will understand one day. So that's management. If I have to get if to get everyone's respect and like, if I'm a good manager, that's not correct. So when it comes to conflict, when it comes to opinion differences, what are you going to do? So it's not like this. That's not my philosophy. So along the way, I've been very lucky. God has been very kind to me. I find good mentors who help me a lot. And when problems come, I will use my experience to look at the problem. And if your intentions are good, you can always solve the problem well.
And mentors, did you work side by side with them in the same school, or you had some outside?
Well, Mr. Choi was one of my key mentor. Mr. Choi Fuk-keung, previous the retired principal of Daily Memorial School Hippo. And then there are a few outside as well in the field. So yeah, you build along the way.
Okay. And the last question is, what's next after this? in terms of your vision, if there's anything in mind?
Well, I mean, honestly, continue to serve the community, do better for the community, and contribute more into this education field for the betterment of the ethnic minority. So you see, I'm a person who is doing more at policy level and stuff like that. So to inform, to affect, to influence the policy, and continue to do that selflessly. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Okay. And before we end this, I think the last most interesting question is, if you can answer it in the shortest way, what's the best way to handle different opinions and you're in that position of you could be in a conflict, but you're trying to achieve something together?
2 words: embrace differences.
Okay, that's great enough. That's punchline. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Riz, Hector Telmo, Kinetic Outcome.
Insurance, look for him.